It is time for... On this day! Yep, on this day. And on this day is the part of the stream. We take a break from the music, do this every stream, take a look back at this particular day in history. In Weird Paul history. This is like a little time machine here. We're going to go back in time. You come back with me. January 16th is today's date, and we're going to go back into my life and see what I was doing on the January 16th of my life. All right, we're going to go back to 1984 right now. So this is 38 years ago. On this day, here's what I was doing in my journal. This is my journal from January 16th, 1984. I hate school. Boy, did I hate school. School was just the worst. I had no friends. I got bullied all the time. I hated the homework and everything. It was terrible. I just did not like school at all. But I did start making a certain game that day. I started making a certain game, and we had a Commodore 64 computer, and that's what I used to make the game. And if you were watching my gaming stream last night, we were playing all Commodore 64 games, and I said that I couldn't find my original Commodore 64 disc that I programmed all the games on when I was younger. I found it. After the stream, I found it. It was in between some stuff where it should not have been, but it was there, and I got it back. So maybe someday we can play this on the gaming stream. Okay, but this is the disc where I started programming that certain game that I was talking about in my journal. This disc is from 1984, January 1984. Yep, and they still work. They still work. Hard to believe, right? But they do. And the game that was live last night, Annie Boo La La, yep, that I was playing, the Commodore 64 games. I think the stream is still up on my Twitch. If you want to watch it later, it'll be up for a while. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh, yeah. I got distracted. So there was a certain game in my journal I was talking about making on that disc. And the game that I was making on the disc was called Jedi. And it was a Star Wars-based game that I programmed myself. It was all text-based. And I've got a video here all about that game, what happens in the game, and how I made the game. And we're going to take a look at that with thanks to Woot Goose. Thank you, Woot Goose, for checking out the stream. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it. Oh, you were watching that rerun on YouTube. That's right. That was from a week ago. That was quite a ways back there when I did that one. The Commodore one. How do you connect the Commodore to a new TV? Well, you have to plug it into a VCR. You plug the Commodore into a VCR, and then you can take the audio and video out of the back of the VCR and plug that into a new TV. You just got to get the right adapters to do it. Yep. Not hard to do. But other than using the VCR, I don't know of any other way. So that's how I do it. Anyway, here we go. This is the video about my homebrew Commodore 64 game, Jedi, that I made. On January 16th, 1984, I started programming this. And I'm going to have to go make Niffer's medicine now. So this will give me a chance to do that while you're watching this. Okay.
Hey YouTube, it's Weird Paul. I want to thank all my new subscribers for coming on board. And I would also like to thank the Retroist and Kotaku.com for introducing you all to my channel. I got so many likes and comments on my Commodore 64 video that it's clear that you all want to see some more. So I'll be making another video about some of the other programs on the disc, but today we're just going to take a look at that Star Wars game. Since this is a text-based game, it might be boring to just show the screen the whole time, so I thought we'd liven the video up with some of the figures in my vintage Star Wars collection. So keep in mind, I was probably only 12 when I made this game, so don't expect to be impressed or you're just going to be disappointed. The actual name of this game is Jedi, so we're just going to load Jedi here. Okay, so let's run it. Return to a galaxy far, far away. You are Luke Skywalker. You are trying to become a Jedi. Want to go to Dagobah to see someone? Or do you want to talk with Han? So you press either D or H, depending on which thing you want to do. So let's talk to Han. It says, Han greets you and says, I think Jabba is after me. You say, don't worry, I'm here. He laughs. Just then, Klaatu and a Weequay, two of Jabba's guards, come in with laser guns. Will you stay or run? So if you decide to stay, the last thing you see is Klaatu's sword directly over your head. Instead, if you run, you are glad you ran, but wonder what will happen to Han. You don't care too much about him, I guess. You land your X-Wing and R2 beeps. A small green man greets you and says, "Who do you seek?" You reply, "A Jedi Master." He says, "You seek Yoda, but do you want me to take you to him?" So you don't know that he's Yoda yet, so if you choose no, he says, "Bye," and just as you say, "bye," a large pair of teeth come down on your head. It's never made clear exactly who is munching on your skull, but I guess that's the end of the game. So if you say, "Yes, take me to see Yoda," he says, "I'm Yoda." You say, "You?" He says, "Yes, but first, do you want to learn to levitate or use your lightsaber?" So if you choose levitate, he says the trick is to think about levitating and use the Force. Try it. You do, and it works. You say, "Tell me about my lightsaber." He says, "Just aim and use the Force. Do not underestimate its power. Use the Force." You say, "Tell me more." He says, "For now, there is nothing else to say. Bye." And with that, you leave. It's a pretty quick goodbye there. Now you decide if you want to go to Bespin or to talk with Leia. If you choose to talk with Leia, Leia says, "What's been happening?" You say, "Two of Jabba's guards took Han away." Leia says, "Oh no." All of a sudden, Han runs up. He says, "I ran away after blasting Klaatu. I heard Jabba say I would soon be needing a heater." You think carbon freezing. Han says, "I better run. I don't want to get caught again." You, Leia, Han, and the droids all fly to Bespin. On your way, you get a swarm of TIE fighters on your tail. This is a part in the game where you're supposed to press F to fire at the TIE fighters, but you can press any letter. For instance, I'll press G and we can still do it. You yell, "I got him!" Han says, "Great, kid, don't get cocky." A man named Lobot greets you and says, "Lando Calrissian is coming." You hear his mind and he thinks, "Darth is making me hire bounty hunters to capture Han and freeze him and give him to Jabba." Do you act now or wait? So if you choose to act now, Lando pulls out a pistol and kills you. A pistol! If you choose to wait, you may have another chance later. You also hear Lando think, "Darth is here now." You think Yoda said, "I am ready. I will kill Vader with my lightsaber." Later, Leia goes to look at some art on Bespin, and Han goes somewhere else. You get your lightsaber and sense Vader is in the main reactor room. You go in, and there is Vader with his lightsaber. Will you swing to your right or your left? Alright, so if we choose to swing to the right, you see Vader's lightsaber hit your neck. So if you swing to the left, Vader's lightsaber hits your arm. Your hand falls into the abyss. He says, "I guess Obi-Wan never told you the truth about your father." You say, "He told me enough. He told me that you killed him." Vader says, "No, I am your father." You scream, "No!" He then leaves. You get out, and just as you leave, a small screen pops up, and it says Y or N. There are Y and N keys on the screen. Which? So if you choose the Y key, you have to get some paper and write this down. And there's a number here. It's an 8-digit number. So we're going to write it down here. Okay, it says, "You will use this later." You leave to get an electronic hand. An electronic hand. In the room where you get your limb replaced, you listen through the wall. You hear Lando and Darth and several bounty hunters, of whose names are mentioned to be Bossk, Dengar, IG-88, Forlom, Zuckuss, and the most fearsome bounty hunter, Boba Fett. You hear Darth saying, "I will reward the one who brings me Han Solo." You hear Boba Fett say, "I will." Will you rush in now, or again wait? So if you rush in, which is always a bad idea, Darth yells, "Get him!" and Boba Fett points his gun. If you decide to wait, you think, "They could kill me if I went in. I better wait," but it would be wise to tell Han and Leia. So will you first tell Han or Leia? So if you choose to tell Han first, you tell Han, and as he usually does, he goes off to find the person ignoring your protests. It looks like you both just got in a lot of trouble. If you choose Leia, then Leia says, "We must tell Han, then we must all leave." "Not right away," you say. "We have been invited to a feast first." "Yeah, Han's life's in jeopardy, but I'm hungry, so let's go eat." You all go to the feast. After telling Han, when you enter, you see not only Lando, but Boba and Darth as well. Han fires at Darth, but Darth ricochets it. They go to freeze Han. Lando suddenly switches sides and yells, "We haven't much time, let's escape." Will you and the others go with him, or not? Yes or no? So if you don't go with him, Darth and Boba kill you as Lando takes off in a pod car. So if you choose to go with Lando, you escape just in time as Slave 1 flies off. Now that was the end of the first half of the game. Now the screen says, "Directing Return of the Jedi." It says, "Would you like to quit and just be a Jedi cadet? or go on to become the Supreme Jedi. If you choose to remain a cadet, the game just ends. If you choose to be the Supreme Jedi, you are on Tatooine putting your lightsaber into R2. And the game ends. So, much to my surprise, after not having seen this game for 20 years, this game is not really complete. I was going to go and finish it all the way through Return of the Jedi, but I didn't. Why didn't I finish the game? Well, for one thing, the disc was almost full. Maybe I didn't have any more space to keep working on it. Or maybe I just got bored. The only thing I really want to know is, what am I supposed to do with this? So thanks a lot for joining me and checking out my 1983 Star Wars Homebrew Commodore 64 game. I'll have more great videos coming up, including a look at some more of the programs on that disc. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. See you soon, YouTube.
There we go. That was the entire sordid story of the Star Wars Homebrew game. There was. Infamously, you would not really finish a lot of the games that I started. Oh, look, Niffer came back. She's feeling well enough now. So we should have just had the haircut done now. See, you would have been feeling a little better and could have done it a little easier. Would have been a little easier on you. She's just bragging about what a great job she did on my hair. That was super cool, Niff. All right. So, yeah, it's an insane amount of typing. So I did make a game called Against Tiamat, which is a Dungeons & Dragons-based game about fighting the chromatic dragon Tiamat, and I did finish that game. I actually completely finished that one, and that's on that same disc right here. That one is on. We're playing Fortnite now over here, and everybody's saying hi, Niffer. Niffer, you know, sometimes she's lays down for a while, then she's able to get up and do stuff for a little bit. She goes on and off. It's on and off. The illness is very tricky. I did not see the Book of Boba Fett Spinge Binge 66, but I guess that's on Disney Plus, right? I don't have Disney Plus, so I can't watch any of those shows. Of course, there is a show on Disney Plus that I'm in, as many of you know. It's called 80s Top 10s, hosted by Rob Lowe, and it's on Disney Plus. And in episode number 5 of that show, which is called Gadgets, there's a part about camcorders, and there's footage of me and my dad back in the 1980s in that episode of 80s Top 10s on Disney Plus right now. Yep, some of you already have seen it. Got a shout-out going out right now from Silent Elegance going out to Niffer. Right out to Niffer. Yes, sirree. Indeed. Maddie J.P. Chapeltown would buy my game. Thank you. That's very kind of you. The 13-year-old me is very pleased that you said that. Thank you, the Irish Commando. Thank you very much. I'll be back next Sunday, of course. The rest of this week I'll be off for the anniversary of Niffer and me is 15 years this week, so I'm going to be off the rest of the week. I do not get any royalty payments from that episode of 80s Top 10s, Fart Needle. Do not get any 80s. I do not get any 80s royalty payments. I got a licensing fee. I just got a licensing fee, one small payment down front, and that's it. I'll never see another buck. They can use that footage as much as they want from now on, and I'll never see a dollar. Doggish with the 64 bits. Thank you, Doggish. Thank you so much for the kibbles and bits. My sister's in it, too. That's right, 405. My sister is also in that clip. What, Niffer? Nintendo 64, right? There's another 64, but we're cheering 64 for the Commodore 64. Let's make that clear. It's not for the Nintendo 64. Carlor 858 cheered 1,000 bits. 1,000 bits. Whoa, wee, woo wee. Thank you so much, Carlor 858. That's a grand in bits. That's right, Niffer. Niffer just said that's a grand in bits. That's what that is. It's a grand in bits. Thank you so much, Carler858, for those 1,000 bits. That's amazing. Thank you that's very generous, and I'm very grateful. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for making old weird Paul feel young again. I feel really young. I got this haircut now. I feel great. I feel like a little boy. Thank you so much. 100-year-old man money. That's super, super cool of you. Thank you again. Thank you, Ready Locks, for the 15 bits also. Thank you so much for the kibbles and bits. Thanks, everybody, for all the support. No, I never finished developing the game, Matty JP Chapeltown. Never did. That was the end. of my work on that game. I got tired of doing it, I guess, and I never finished it. That's how kids are, though, you know. Back when you're a kid, sometimes you just don't finish your games. Well, anyway, I want to go back to the 80s now, January 16th, 1985. All right, so instead of 38 years ago now, we're talking about 37 years ago. I went down to the public library on January 16th, 1985, and I got out some records from the library. One of the records I got out was Eliminator by ZZ Top, which I don't have on vinyl, but I have the cassette now that I got. And that's a really, really good, awesome album that our public library had back when I was a teenager. Another album I got out of the library on vinyl when I was a teenager on January 16th, 1985 was Cargo, My Men at Work. Right? Yep. Another classic 80s pop album right there that I also got out of the library that day. And this is funny because the album that I got out of the library on cassette that day, not on vinyl, but on cassette from our public library, is the only one that I don't have on cassette now. I have it on vinyl. It's the exact opposite of the other two, which was Talk Show by the Go-Go's. And I was a huge, huge Go-Go's fan at the time, and I didn't have this album. And so I was so excited that the library got it in. I got to take it home and listen to it. It was just amazing. It made my day. Head Over Heels Doggish was my introduction to the Go-Go's. That was the first Go-Go's song that I ever heard. I didn't hear We Got the Beat first. I wasn't into music when that came out. I wasn't listening to the radio yet. So Head Over Heels was the first Go-Go song that I actually heard because I saw the music video on TV on Friday Night Videos. And that's how I... What? And that's how I got into the Go-Go's, from hearing Head Over Heels. Yep. That's it. Yep. S-Dog used to go to the public library as a kid and got cassettes and CDs and copy them. Sure, that's what we all did. We all did that because that was how we could afford to hear music. I didn't have any money to go out and buy records when I was a teenager. You know, I could buy one or two records every few months or something, and I couldn't afford any more than that. So I had to get them out of the library. That's what we had to do. German Marine 30 with the 30 bits. Thank you. Thank you very much for the kibbles and bits. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. Qatar was poor. There was not even a library. Not even a library for Qatar. So that day, I made some music videos for songs on albums that I got out of the library. And I have a little tiny clip here because I can't show you the actual videos because of the copyright on the music. But I used to do this all the time. I'd make videos where I lip-synced to the band's songs. One is for a Billy Idol song from the Billy Idol record that I got out of the library in the last stream that I showed. That was Baby Talk, which was a video I made with my little brother. And then there was another one for a song on that Go-Go's album that I made. And for that one, I dressed up to be the bass player of the Go-Go's. I put on a wig, and I put on my mom's hoop earrings. So you'll see that here. It just looks ridiculous. So here are the intros to those videos. I can't show the whole video, but just the intros to these videos that I made on January 16th, 1985.
Happy Valentino, and this is the first video of my solo album. We don't get along.
This is Dill Pickle Shopping Aisle with Baby Talk.
Dill Pickle Shopping Aisle. See, we always had to come up with a parody name for the artist, and that was Billy Idol. And the only thing I could come up with for Billy Idol was Dill Pickle Shopping Aisle. That's some dumb shit, I gotta tell you right now. Yep, we have a Discord, Matty JB Chapeltown. The Discord is the Weird Paul Butt Legion. Down there in the chat is the link for you. It is like Tootsie, isn't it, Doggish? I looked a little like Tootsie there. Oris 1968 wants to know if I've checked out VCR Party Live on YouTube. I don't know what that is. Should I check it out? Is it cool? What is that? There's some smashed pickles in this shopping aisle. That's a very good point there, Doggish. Very good point. Very, very observant. And thank you. I rocked those hoops. Billy Midol. And that would have been funnier if I'd said that. But at that age, I didn't even know what Midol was, I'm sure. I would not even have had any idea. We have, I'm going to save these other channel point redemptions till after we do On This Day, so I'll get back to those. I will do the hydrate, though. that Aloso Deruda redeemed. I have a cough drop in my throat from my sore throat that I have from singing tonight, so that's what's going on there. All right. So on this day in 1986, January 16th, 1986, was one of the times that I showed my music videos that I made, just like those ones I just showed you. I showed them in my high school. A lot of people always ask me, what did you do with all these videos you made back in the 80s? Who would you show them to? People like the kids in my school. Sometimes I had a really cool teacher that would let me bring the videos in and play them on a VCR in the classroom for the kids. And this was one of those days, January 16th, 1986. I brought them in and I showed them in school. And I remember that one of the videos I showed was this thing I did called Petrosky's for Africa. So it was like USA for Africa. It was like a We Are the World thing where I sang We Are the World. But I was did this kind of comedy routine thing that I'd seen on Saturday Night Live, where they said, if you give us enough support, you can get the We Are the World cookie and the We Are the World missile and all this stuff. It was a play on capitalism and all this stuff. And I tried to do that, and I kept breaking up laughing, and the teacher got offended. She thought I was making fun of USA for Africa or something, and she wouldn't show that part. She made me fast forward it. I just remembered that. So weird. VCR Party Live is 3 guys who own 11,000 VCR tapes that they show clips from. Wow. Well, that's more VCR tapes than I have. I have probably about 2,000 VCR tapes, I would say. Maybe 2,500. But I don't have 11,000. That's a lot of tapes. Of course, that's 3 guys with 11,000. I'm one guy with 2,500. Yeah, the Ramones Something to Believe in video is a spoof on We Are the World. That's really funny. Mine are all VHS. No, I have a few betas. I have about 15 beta tapes, probably. I've heard of Found Footage Film Festival. Yeah, definitely heard of that. I've watched some of those DVDs that they put out. Here's another intro clip to a video that I made with my sisters from January 16th, 1986. And my sister hits me in the head with my sleeping bag. She gives me a good whack in the head with my sleeping bag in this video, so that'll be pretty funny for you. Here we go.
Hi, this is Elle, and this is my new video. Pop music. Ooh, pop music that was.
That was from the homemade music video we made for the song Pop Music, which was a big hit back in 1980 by the artist known as M. I can't show the whole videos here, but the videos are all on YouTube. I have a whole channel on YouTube just for all the homemade music videos I made. It's not my main channel. It's a different channel. It's called 80s Homemade Music Videos by Weird Paul. So you can see all of those on there. The link is actually down in the chat if you want to sub to that. I put up a video every Sunday. Speaking of YouTube, let's see how many subscribers I got. As you know, I'm really, really close to 59,000 YouTube subscribers right now. Let's see how many I got. 58,951. I only need 49 more YouTube subscribers on my Weird Paul channel to get to 59,000. I'm almost there. 49. It could happen. It could happen tonight. It could happen tomorrow. I'm excited. Because 59,000 is a lot. This background picture is from an earthquake, Gary Moss 420. Yup. That's correct. Okay. Let's see what else we got. On this day in 1987, January 16th, 1987. That would be 35 years ago today. This is my journal right here, January 16th, 1987. The first 2.5 hours of Night Tracks were not too good. Night Tracks was, of course, a music video program that was on the TBS cable channel. I would tape that whole night of that and watch it every time, every weekend. Big Life by Peter Gabriel was on Friday Night Videos, however, so that was good news. Played a lot of games at Chuck E. Cheese. We went to Chuck E. Cheese that day, and I played a ton of video games at the Chuck E. Cheese that day, and also I got a punctured lung in street hockey. Punctured lung. Got a punctured lung in street hockey. So I remember what happened, though. I was in gym class, and I hated gym class. That was my least favorite subject because the other boys in gym class were so much taller than me because I started school a year early. So I was way smaller. I was always behind everybody in growing because I started school a year earlier than all the other kids. And so, you know, they would pick on me, they would bully me, they would be really rough in gym class so that they could knock me over or hurt me, which they did all the time. And I hated gym class because of that. And we were playing street hockey, which was just hockey with a ball instead of a puck because it was in a gym. And so you didn't skate or whatever, right? And so some kid used his hockey stick to swipe the ball up into the air as hard as he could at me. And the ball hit me right like here. And I didn't get a punctured lung, of course, but it hit me so hard that it practically sprained one of my ribs is what happened. But they didn't care. I mean, in dodgeball, they would throw the ball as hard as they could and hit me in the nuts or whatever. Like, I couldn't even breathe, you know. It hurt so bad. They were just relentlessly nasty, just hurting me all the time, you know. Yeah, it was awful. So, anyway, yeah, that was not fun. I hated gym. Just hated it. But also, that same day, after I got that pain in my lung from gym class, I went home and I recorded the song My Father's Toe. That's what I did. And I didn't really care about school because I just wanted to go home and make videos and write songs and make and record music. That's what I wanted to do because I knew that's what I was going to be doing my whole life, and I still am. And here we go. This is the video from the song My Father's Toe. This recording that you're going to hear was done 35 years ago today. Of course, that's my dad's foot back there in the background. Thank you, Darlene, for getting weird. Thank you so much for checking out the stream tonight. I just got a haircut live on Twitch earlier tonight. I think it looks pretty good. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And, yeah, I was also Drunk Roku, but good to see you, by the way. I always made it towards the end of Dodgeball, too, and that's because the kids would always try to get everybody else out first, and I would just try to, like, get out of the way. Because I couldn't hit anybody. I couldn't throw the ball far enough or hard enough to hit anybody, and nobody would let me have the ball anyway. Eventually, what it was there was like 6 guys on the other side, and I was the only one left on my side. And then they would just try to hit me with the ball, and I'd have to try to stay away as long as I could, and I couldn't hit any of them. Yep, and that was really embarrassing, you know, when everybody in the whole class is just sitting there watching you against like 6 other guys. It's pretty embarrassing. Yeah, a lot of PE teachers are sadists. I agree with you on that. I'm sure there's some nice ones too, but a lot of them are definitely sadists. Anyway, let's see what else we got here. Oh, here we go. July. I wish it was July. January 16th, 1989. Was playing this game, Dumplings_Band will remember this game, because we used to play it at Weird Paul Rock Band practice, too. But I used to play this game with my family back in the 80s. Played it on January 16, 1989. Flash Match. It's a VCR game, so you put the tape into your VCR, and then you have to remember which cards were on the screen. And there's a deck of cards in there with pictures on them. Flash Match. Used to play this all the time. Maybe a couple of you out there have heard of this. I don't know. But, the guy that hosted this game, his name was Will Schreiner. And never seen a VCR game before? Oh, well, that's something that we played a lot of back in the 80s. A lot of. And there were so many of them. There were ones based on different board games, like there were ones based on Clue, and there were ones based on a lot of TV shows, like the Three Stooges and the Honeymooners, and just a lot of different, whatever they could think of to put on a videotape and make a game out of. So there were a lot of them, and I played a lot of them as a teenager back in the 80s when I was growing up, and then I started to try to collect them as an adult, and I have a whole bunch of them now. I probably own about close to 10 different ones now, but they were always a lot of, yeah, the Weird Paul Rock Band played quite a few. We used to play them a lot And they were tedious. Kev Yoke says they were tedious. Some of them are really bad. Some of them are really bad, and then there were some that were fun too. Flash Match is not the worst game. It's not like an Oculus. No, it's not like an Oculus at all. So, but anyway, this is like actual footage from the tape that you bought. It's not the game part, but the guy that hosts the game, his name was Will Schreiner, and this is like the introduction to the game that he would come on the tape when you first started watching it.
Were you smiling? Hi, I'm Will Schreiner for Flash Match. I'm glad you decided to play. I'm not here just trying to show off my own personal art gallery to the world. I'm here because I care about Flash Match, and more importantly, I care about you. You could almost say I have a vested interest in the game, but keep that quiet. So throughout the game, I'll be sprinkling in a number of official Will Schreiner hints. Hint number 1, read the rules. So now, put your VCR on pause, deal your first hand, and I'll check in on you a little later.
Either pause or stop the tape there. You had your option. If you left it on pause, you would just unpause it, but then it was going to wear out your motor in your VCR if you left it paused too long. So you probably just wanted to press stop at that point. Yeah. Yep, the Burnished video, right? We did that. Yeah, the Nightmare board game Glue C with Yes My Gatekeeper. So my band made a song out of that game, the Gatekeeper voice. We made a whole song out of that. There's a video on YouTube of that somewhere. Yeah. With that sweater furnished by Botany 500. Yeah, absolutely. Here we go with Dead Internet Theories. Got me another Boston cover to sing for you here. Boston parody. And we get one of these every single stream here, right? With the channel points. I'll do this for you. Bukas Slyat. I'm gonna try to say it that way. Bukas Slyat. Thank you for the follow. Thanks for checking out the Weirdest Show on Twitch. We're taking a little break from the music right now to talk about what I did in the 80s on this day. Let's see if I can sing this for you. Here we go. It's more than a puncture, more than a puncture. It's a sprain in my rib cage. Those guys are bullies. I really hate gym class. Really hate gym class. I'd rather be singing and play my punk rock records every day. I climbed the rope in gym and I felt kinda, hey! That's great. Kev Yoke, thank you for the sub. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the sub. That's so wonderful. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's weird how it's still there. Usually that disappears by now, right? Is this? I had this problem once before on my stream where the thing got stuck there and it wouldn't go away. Is that going to happen again? I guess we'll find out. Anyway, well, you can enjoy seeing that up there for a little while then. All right. That same day that I played that Flash Match game with my whole damn family was the day that I went out and bought this CD. This was one of the first CDs I ever bought. January 1989. This Misfits CD. And I wanted to go out and get this really bad. I wanted to get this CD because it had some Misfits songs on it that were out of print that you couldn't get back then. There were songs on here that were just impossible to get back then. They came out on this this collection CD. Yeah, you can't see this with you want to see it with the green screen on? Okay. Can you read any of it? Barely. Okay, there you go. So there's the track listing. So this is really a great CD, and you know that I rocked out to this CD. You paid $22 for this CD, Pooh Brian? You mean it was expensive when it came out, or is it expensive now? Like, is it rare now, and that's how much it is to get? You paid $22 for it when it came out? I don't remember what I paid for this. I got to be honest, but it might be written down in my journal what I paid for it actually. So I should take a look and see. But this is a really good collection of Misfits songs. Yeah, definitely Low Lucas 30. Might be artwork by Pusshead. I'm not really sure about that. Maddie J.B. Chapeltown wants to know if I have any Kiss albums. I have most of the 70s Kiss albums. The only ones I don't have, I know that I don't have, are the first one, Kiss, Hotter Than Hell, which I think was their second album, maybe? I don't have those two. And I also don't have Unmasked, which I think came out in 1979, maybe, or something like that. As of 70s Kiss albums, those are the ones I don't have. And there's two of the solo albums I don't have, I think. I don't have the Peter Criss solo album or the Gene Simmons solo album. I have the other ones. Your friend was in a movie with the Misfits. It was a George Romero movie. I wonder which movie that is. Does anybody know which George Romero movie had the Misfits in it? I'm not really sure. Let's see. What else we got? There's more. Oh, 1990. January 16th, 1990. I got this letter right here from my friend Christy. Christy played the saxophone on the Scott Baio song that I sing on the stream sometimes, on the actual recording of that. And in this letter that Christy sent me, she talks about going to see the band GWAR. This was in 1990 that she saw GWAR. And it says right here in the letter, one of the things that they did for the big ending, they set off tear gas. I still don't understand why they did that. We were up front, which made it twice as bad. When everyone realized what was going on, they went crazy. It was packed, which made it extremely difficult to get outside. I thought I was going to die. Everyone was choking and gagging, and by the time we got out, there were about 6 police cars pulling up. We couldn't stick around to see what happened because we had to catch this subway before it stopped running. So GWAR set off tear gas at their own show, and and like everybody, like nobody could breathe. Everybody tried to run out at the same time. Man, that's crazy. Crazy stuff. They did a lot of crazy stuff, but tear gas is the craziest, right? Zero Dust 77 says my haircut looks great. Thank you. Also, have I ever heard of a Moxie, which is a 70s Canadian band? I don't think so. It doesn't sound familiar. Should I check them out? I love hearing music from like the 70s and 80s that I don't know. So, if that's something cool, I want to check it out for sure. Trash Overloaded just subbed. Thank you so much, Trash Overloaded, for the sub for 6 months. Thank you for 6 months of sub. Hell yeah. Thank you, Trash Overloaded. 6 months. That's when you get that piece of macaroni badge down in the chat. 6 months. Now you look like a real badass down there in the chat. Let me tell you, it looks really fine. Oh, the George Romero movie with the Misfits was Bruiser. Okay, I haven't seen that one. I have heard of it. But I haven't seen it. Trash Overloaded lurks a lot. No problem there. And you can always type !lurk if you want to let people know that you're here, but that you're not going to chat. We got that set up. All right. And Maddie J.B. Chapeltown wants to know if I ever listened to Slipknot. Not other than seeing some of their music videos, when they were on TV and stuff. I haven't really listened to much Slipknot other than that. 1991 was 31 years ago, and I got a couple things that happened on that day in Weird Paul history. January 16th, 1991, I was talking to Manny, who was my drummer at the time, and he told me that there was a review in the College Music Journal of the 7-inch that we put out, the Sucking Chest Wound 7-inch. Right here, as you can see, Weird Paul Petrosky and his buddy Manny Thiner mix everything that is silly about Beat Happening with everything that is serious about Happy Flowers into a catchy slab with a beautiful 4-color sleeve, and it goes on. And that the College Music Journal was a really important thing back then. That was like the people that cared about indie rock music, alternative music back then. That's what everybody read to find out about new music, and we were like so excited that we got our record reviewed in the College Music Journal. That was a really big deal back then. So that was really exciting. That was an exciting day. Yep, they said that I sounded like Big Bird. Paul sounds like Big Bird. Okay. I mean, I can. Hi. This is Big Bird. I can do, I do Grover a little bit better. This is Grover? Or I could do Ernie pretty well. Hey, Bert, old buddy Bert. Let's go to Burning Man, Bert. But Big Bird, I don't do Big Bird that well. Big Bird's a good singer. Big Bird's a good singer. Slipknot has a song called "The Chapeltown Rag." Okay, we'll check it out. Maybe I haven't heard it. Elmo gentrified Grover out of his own job. Oh man. So let's see. That same day that I found out I was in the College Music Journal there, I also got this letter in the mail. This was January 16th, 1991. I got this letter from my friend Tom Ryan. He's the one that Tom Ate a Banana is about. And he was folded like this. It's like not folded in any kind of actual, it's just like, it's like folded in all different directions. It's ridiculous. It says, "What's up, dude? I am so depressed. You know why? Steve Clark died. I can't believe it. What a shitty year so far. Tuesday we go to war. Steve died. My brother had his room busted into and got about $1,300 worth of shit taken. My dad lost his wallet with all his credit cards in it." And Steve Clark, of course, was a guitar player for Def Leppard. And Def Leppard was Tom's favorite band. So Tom was really, really depressed when Steve Clark died. Of course, Def Leppard continued as a band, and they still are together. But that was an upsetting day for my friend Tom when he found out Steve Clark died. Thanks to Sugar Skulls 5987, and thanks to Broken_Mailman. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for checking out the Weird Paul Twitch stream tonight. I got a haircut earlier, and now we are talking about stuff I did back in the 80s and 90s. Sugar Skulls 5987 wants to know if I know the Rev from Avenged Sevenfold. No, I don't. I know that I've heard of the band, of course, and I've heard their music, of course. But I don't know if is that a member or is that a song? I'm not that up on Avenged Sevenfold. Not that up on them. The drummer from Def Leppard only has one arm. The drummer from Def Leppard only has one arm. Shaquille_Oatmeal69. Ooh, how kinky. Thank you for the follow. Thanks for checking out the stream. Jimmy Pop. Yep, that's Jimmy Pop. And, Jimmy Pop sent me that whole box of toys that I reviewed on YouTube. And Jimmy Pop follows me on Twitter. Jimmy Pop only follows like 18 people on Twitter, and I'm one of them. So I feel pretty cool. I feel like I'm a pretty cool guy. Eddie_Ho. Thank you for getting weird with us tonight. Thanks for checking out the stream. It's really cool of you. Really appreciate it. Me and Mark the Bagger. Okay, well, I'm in good company, I guess, then, right? And, so, what else we got here? Here we go. January 16th, 1993. All right, so that's 29 years ago today. I went down to the record store, and I got me some records. Let me show you what I bought. Let me show you what records I bought. First of all, I bought Disco Dracula. Disco Dracula. It's the exciting new group, and notice it's exciting new group, Hot Blood. And the songs on this record are Terror on the Dance Floor and Soul Dracula. That's pronounced Dracula. Soul Dracula. Terror on the Dance Floor and Soul Dracula by Hot Blood. Disco Dracula. The name of the record. It's a hot disco single, 12-inch 45 RPM, put out by Dynamo Records. Disco Dracula is a great band name, but it's not the name of the band. The band's name is Hot Blood. Too bad that the name is not Disco Dracula, really. Sugar Skulls 5987 was born in 85 and raised in the 90s. That's a good time to be alive. Good time that you grew up in there. Soul Dracula is classic, I'm sure. And also I bought this. Disco Lucy. You listen to this stuff on YouTube, of course. It's all on there, right? The I Love Lucy theme, Disco Lucy, it's actually the I Love Lucy theme, but it's in a disco beat. And in between in between every time that the I Love Lucy theme starts again, they sing, "Dance, dance, Disco Lucy." Disco Lucy. Yeah, that's right, Caroline _ It's Disco Lucy. Listen to that on YouTube if you get a chance, all right? Disco Lucy. And it's Dumplings _ band's birthday tomorrow. That's right. That's right. I forgot. Everybody please wish Dumplings _ band a happy, happy birthday. Tomorrow's the day. That's correct. And one more record I bought that day. Freaky Fucking Weirdos. Extra Play. You know this album? Who out there knows this band? Somebody watching knows who this is, right? I'm sure. This is on beautiful orange vinyl. Beautiful orange vinyl, everybody, and I love it. That's my favorite color vinyl that there is this orange vinyl here. Oh, it's so nice. Freaky Fucking Weirdos. And this has the hit Bitch Make Sandwich. Bitch Make Sandwich. If you don't know the song Bitch Make Sandwich by Freaky Fucking Weirdos, then you have got to go onto YouTube as soon as possible. Not during my stream, of course. You need to go onto YouTube as soon as possible and listen and watch the music video for Bitch Make Sandwich, all right? It goes, "Bitch, make sandwich, make sandwich. I told the bitch, yeah, bitch, make sandwich, make sandwich." It's like some kind of rap rock stuff. It's like pre-Limp Bizkit or something, all right? You're going to have to hear it. All right, you're just going to have to listen to that. All right. Thanks to Tika Lensick. Yeah, that's going to be your new jam, Teramasu, I have a feeling. Thanks to Tika Lensick for the 6-month sub. Thank you, Tika Lensick, for 6 months. I sure appreciate it. 6 months. Again, you get the piece of macaroni badge down in the chat by your name. Makes you look like a badass. Nobody wants to mess with you when they see that piece of macaroni there. I'm telling you. Eddie _ Ho found me because Moist Critical 9 months back and my song Hot Water Heater was a straight hit. Thank you, Eddie. Eddie _ Ho. Thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Moist Critical's awesome. Oompaville is awesome. So cool that they decided to make a video talking about me on YouTube. I couldn't have dreamed that they would do that. I mean, that was amazing. And because of them, it's because of them that I have gotten 20,000 YouTube subscribers since then. And I am so close right now, everybody. So close to 59,000 subscribers. I only need 43 more. That's it, 43 to go. I can't believe it. And I'll be at 59K. Shaquille _ Oatmeal _ 69 _ was just watching Moist Critical. Moist Critical is one of the hardest working Twitch streamers out there because he's on every day for hours and hours and hours. He's constantly on here. It's like he lives on Twitch, you know? Absolutely. Round numbers are the best, Doggish, and I'm really excited about getting to 59,000. I really am. Polly _ G _ how you doing tonight? And Poop Riot had the Disco Mickey Mouse record. Boy, I remember the commercials on TV for that. Macho, macho duck. I want to be a macho duck. My favorite one, though, was watch out for Goofy. Watch out for Goofy. He's a disco demolition. Bill Bob Thorne. Hey, Bill Bob Thorne, thanks for the follow. Thanks for watching the Weirdest Show on Twitch with Weird Paul tonight. It's really great to have you here. Thanks so much for checking it out. Watch out for Dookie is what you used to sing. Okay, well that's a successful parody, I would say, of Watch Out for Goofy. We were talking about what records I bought at the record store that day. I also bought some magazines at the record store that day too. I went on a real shopping spree back. I didn't have much money back then, but I bought this issue of Video Watchdog, which was one of my favorite magazines about movie magazines. I really loved this. Getting that. Another one was Femme Fatales, and I still love this magazine. This is they don't put it out anymore, but I'm trying to buy all the back issues now that if I can find them cheap. I try to pay what they used to cost on the newsstand. I don't want to pay any more than that, so I try to get a good deal on them. But I love this magazine, and I'm still trying to collect them all. And I bought this issue of Film Threat, and this was when Reservoir Dogs came out. Quentin Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs. This is back right when it came out. And that was really cool when that movie came out, because I remember watching it and saying, wow, that's an awesome movie. So I was like, Polly_G_ with the 1,500 bits. Oh my God, thank you. Thank you, Polly_G_. Thank you so much. That's amazing. I sure do appreciate that. Thank you. That's amazing support from you. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Thank you. That's very generous. Just amazing. Thank you so much for making me feel young again. Thank you. That's incredible. Just incredible. Thank you so much. Klobowski has a huge collection of Mad magazines dating back to the 50s. That's cool. I have a few Mad magazines, but not too many. But I was up at the bookstore up in Bethel Park, the Half Price Books. They had the Mad magazines stacked up, or right there. I think that's where it was. All the old ones, and they were $4 each. But I was like, I'm not going to sit here and go through all those. But I was like, that's a lot. That's a lot of old Mad magazines there. You hit 46 years old last month, trying to keep your hair. I hear you. My hair was starting to thin pretty bad, but it looks really good. And I started taking this hair, skin, and nails vitamins in the morning, and it seems like it's kind of helping my hair a little. So I'm going to keep taking that. We got to get more vitamins for Niffer, that's for sure. What was I going to say? Oh, I know what I was going to say. Because it's starting to get late, and I want to do this. And going to do this giveaway. Thanks to Klobowski for the 100 bits. That's nice. You didn't have to do that, Klobowski, but thank you so much. Thank you so much for the old man money. Klobowski is a great mod. Thank you, Klobowski. One of the best mods we got on Twitch. Tell you what, let's do this real quick. A giveaway right now. If you're watching, just make sure you stick around for the next 10 minutes if you want to take part in the giveaway, because that's when we'll announce the winner. If you do win, you have to give me an actual address that I'll mail the prize to, whatever address you want to give me. All right? And what I'm going to give as the prize tonight are these two Nintendo scratch-off game cards. The scratch-offs don't work anymore, which is really weird. If you try to scratch them off, nothing happens. I don't understand why that happened, but they got old and they just don't work anymore. You can't scratch off the dots anymore. But they're still really cool. We got a Legend of Zelda scratch-off game card and a Super Mario 2 scratch-off game card. They're really cool, even though you can't scratch them off anymore. All right? If you want to try to win these, all you got to do is write the word cards down in the chat. C-A-R-D-S. Make sure there's an S on the end or it doesn't count. C-A-R-D-S down in the chat, and then you're entered to win the cards. 10 minutes from now, the chat bot will pick somebody, and that one person is going to win the 2 cards. Okay? We'll see who gets them. Could be anybody. Could be somebody who just showed up tonight. It could be somebody who's been watching a long time. You never know. All right? We'll check that out in 10 minutes from now. Make sure you stick around for 10 minutes after you write the word cards. All right, let's try to finish up the On This Day stuff here. January 16th, 1994. I lost my bus pass that day, but then I found it again. I lost it and found it the same day, which is great because I need it. But this is what the bus pass looked like back then. All right? Thanks to Ravenfather78. Thanks for getting weird with us tonight. Really appreciate it. Thanks for checking out the stream. We're looking at my bus pass here. January of 1994 that I lost and then found today, the same day. The bus passes back then, you could flip them like this and the picture would change, see? So there's old man time, and then you'd flip it this way, and there's the baby New Year. And this is how all the bus passes were. And I saved them all. I have all my bus passes from the 90s. These are really cool, weren't they, Klobowski? I saved them all because they're cool. They do this. And I don't know if anyone else in the world saved these things. Maybe I'm like the only person in the world that still has these, because most people would have just thrown them away. I don't know. But I have the whole set of them because I needed to take the bus every month, so I always bought them. Yep, and they're all lenticular like this. Some of them have the Penguins on them. Some have Mr. Rogers on them. Different parts of Pittsburgh in the picture. They're all really cool, and some of them are, kind of collectibles. So I think they must be pretty rare at this point. Yeah, so still got it, though. Still kept it all these years. All of them. I got them all. Yep, Vito925. How you doing tonight? And that day that I found my bus pass after losing it, I went down to the bookstore, Borders Bookstore, and I bought the new issue of The Dark Side, which is one of my favorite horror movie magazines, because this is a British horror movie magazine. So if you got like the American horror movie magazines, a lot of times they wouldn't talk about movies from other countries, but they always talked about all the European movies in here, which I thought was really cool. You know, they had this stuff about, they had an article on Udo Kier, which is really cool. And another cool thing they had in this magazine was every month they did more of this thing where they had every horror movie ever made. Every single horror movie ever made, they did a little review of every single movie. And you would wait till the next month to get the next issue, and then they do more of the letter B, and eventually it'd be C, you know, and D. And they go through the entire alphabet, and it went on and on and on for years before they could get the whole thing done, every single horror movie ever made. So that was a pretty cool magazine. Sugar Skulls 5987 said if they had a past like that, it would have helped them with their anxiety. Yeah, I could see that. I could see how that could be. It probably helped me with my anxiety. Probably. My anxiety is still bad, but it's not as bad as it was when I was younger. My anxiety was so bad. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Here we go. I got a couple clips to show you now. From January 16th, 1995. So in 1995, there was two channels I used to watch a lot of. One was the International Channel, which was a channel on our satellite, DirecTV, where they showed stuff from all over the world, all right? And another channel I used to watch a lot was called Channel America, and that was an over-the-air UHF channel. It was like channel number 59 or something like that. Stuff like this just doesn't exist anymore. It really doesn't. But back then, there was so many weird channels, cool channels to check out. So I got footage here, a couple clips from both of those channels. First of all, we got a commercial and some kind of TV intro from the International Channel. And then after that, we got some clips from a show about pop culture, old pop culture, that was on this show on Channel America. All right, so this is some like really old, obscure, weird TV stuff. All right, from January 16th, 1995. I probably taped this off the TV.
Đến thăm chúng ta thường bệnh mà muốn hết nhanh thì chỉ có dầu xanh dầu gió xanh vàng an hình.
We'll be right back to today's adventures, folks, but the next portion of Biograph Days, Biograph Nights, no, it's not sponsored by Video Village, but by Darrow's Fun Antiques, the Upper East Side, New York City's finest and oldest fun antique store. Give George and Ginny a call. Check out their board games from the 1950s. Will knock your socks off. They have a whole display just dedicated to this series. A lot more coming your way, but first...
Turn the handles, hear them click. You'll never know when you'll be hit. It's Pie Face. Ask your mom for some cream. Pile it high, it's a scream. Now you spin, watch the snore. Never had such fun before. It's Pie Face. Something else you can do. Play the game without the goo. It's Pie Face.
Pie Face, the goofiest, funniest suspense game. Just reset the mystery handle, load the sponge with water, or ask Mom or Dad to put on topping or foam. The spinner tells you the turns to take. But watch out, it's Pie Face.
It's a game and it's new. Get your face full of goo. It's Pie Face.
With spinner, mask, and pie thrower. Fun for you and grown-ups, too. Pie Face from Hasbro.
We'll be right back to today's adventures. Right now, I'm sitting here relaxing, working hard on my new pop culture catalog filled with the most outrageous TV shows and commercials from the 50s and 60s you are going to find anywhere on the face of this earth or your local video store. And yes, even Speedy will tell you if you check in each week, I'll always have a smorgasbord of visual delights that won't let you down.
It reminded the kid of those good little O's, his favorite cereal, Crisp Cheerios.
Of course, you know, as we begin our 15th season doing Biograph Days, Biograph Nights, I'm always in search of film and especially TV history. And you might know some of the people that are in some of these spots that I show on this program. Please give us a call here. We really want to know who they are.
So I used to look for the weirdest, most obscure stuff I could find on TV. Ever since I was a kid, I've always done that. But back in the 70s, we didn't even have a VCR. But I always tried to find the craziest, weirdest stuff I could, and then I would tape it. So I have tons of stuff like that on tape. But I saw a couple people talk about the tracking being bad. Here's the thing. VCRs are not universal on tracking, all right? If you don't have a lot of... if you don't use VCRs all the time, you might not know that or remember that, but I still use VCRs all the time. One VCR that you tape something on, if you play it back on another VCR, the tracking might not work the same. That was the best I could get the tracking on the VCR that I was using. Now, the VCR I taped it on long ago is gone. It's broken. And that was the best that you can get the tracking on the VCR I was using, because the tracking is just not the same on every VCR. It can be completely different. That's how it works. The tension is different. I guess that's what it is. Yep. Pinkly Smooth. I'm not sure who that is. I don't remember that. Anyway, yeah, that's I always like watching weird, crazy old stuff like that, you know? Speaking of which, that day that I was watching all that stuff, I watched this movie called The Robot versus the Aztec Mummy. All right? This is a Mexican movie from the early 60s, I think. Late 50s, maybe. I'm not sure. I think it's from the early 60s. And it has a mummy, an Aztec mummy, fighting a robot. This is as badass as it gets, man. I'm going to go pee while you watch this. All right? And then we're going to see who won the Nintendo cards. All right? Here we go. The badassest duel of all time. The Aztec mummy fighting the killer robot. Yeah, that's some damn hot action, man. Some damn hot action. Block, how you doing tonight? Let's see who won the Nintendo cards I was giving away on the stream tonight. All right, let's check it out. The winner is... That was the wrong sound. Let's try it again. The winner is... The winner's Meg Yup. Congratulations, Meg. You got the 2 Nintendo trading cards. If you have moved, then let me know. If you're not at that address that you used to be at like a year ago or something, last time that I sent you something, let me know. If you're still at the same address, then I have it, and I can get them out to you. So just let me know. We got Mix-a-Lot 720s here tonight. How you doing? It's great to see everybody here. I got an invisibility cloak just like Harry Potter. We spared no expense here at the Weird Paul Twitch stream. You know, this is not cheap to purchase these invisibility cloaks from the army here, but we spare no expense at the Weird Paul Twitch stream. Yep, there we go. All right. Okay, so let's see what else, if there's anything else here to talk about for on this day. Oh yeah, there's a couple things. January 16th, 2013. 9 years ago today, I was having band practice with my band. This is actually a photo from January 16th, 2013 of my band practicing for our variety show, our comedy show that we used to do. We were doing a skit with my son and a friend of his. Were having a conversation on Skype, talking about bodybuilding, and we lip-synced to this conversation. Remember this Dumplings _ band? Yeah, CY. That's right. And me and Ben were playing the 2 kids. I was playing my son, and Ben was playing my son's friend, talking about bodybuilding. That's why Ben's got those weights in his hands. This picture was actually taken by Dumplings _ band at the practice space right here. Yep. Remember that practice space we had at Store Express? Oh, man. Remember how cold it was there in the winter and how hot it was there in the summer? Oh, man. It must have been pretty cold on January 16th, 2013. That's my bet. It's very, very possible. Yep. And that day before I went to practice, I bought this album at the thrift store, The Graces. And I already had this on CD. I bought it on CD when it came out, back when it came out, but I wanted to get it on vinyl too. The Graces are a band with Charlotte Cathy from the Go-Go's. She played guitar in the Go-Go's, she still does, but she started this band with Meredith Brooks, who is also a very famous singer-songwriter now. It was Meredith Brooks, Charlotte Cathy, and this woman here, Gia, how do you say her name? Gia Chiambati. Gia Chiambati, I think was her name. And I always thought she was the weak part of the band. Her vocals weren't really good, and I think my review of the album when it came out was, they need to kick out Gia and kick out the jams. That's what I said, because I thought the album was pretty good, except for the songs that Gia sang on. I didn't think her songs were very good, so. But, yeah, this is, there's some really good songs on here. I recommend the songs. The really good songs are "Lay Down Your Arms." That song rocks so hard. Charlotte sings that one. And then on side 2, there's a song called "Should I Let You In" that Meredith Brooks sings, which also rocks very hard. Those are amazing songs. There's a check mark next to that, both of those on here, and I didn't put that check mark on there. Somebody else did. "Perfect View" was the first single. Somebody checked that one off too. The good ones are the ones that don't say Gia. That's exactly correct, Doggish. Yep. Meredith Brooks sang "Bitch." I guess that was one of her hits, right? And "Bitch Make Sandwich." I told the bitch, yeah. "Throbbing with Horror" is here. Thank you for getting weird with us. We're just with throbbing and throbbing with horror. Oh. And "Stupid Jack" just got weird. You can't be that stupid if you're here, though. All right, Jack. We don't think you're that bad. All right. Thanks for checking out the stream. Really appreciate it. January 16th, 2015, I bought this at the thrift store. Clash of the Titans on DVD. This is from the 1980s, right? I watched this on cable TV or something back when right after it first came out at the theaters. This was a classic cool movie back then in the 80s. I was really into mythology back when I was in middle school and stuff. I thought mythology and all that stuff was really, really interesting and cool, and so I love this movie. Yep, Mechanical Al is really cool. A lot of you... Yeah, who redeemed Weird Paul insults Gia? Hilarious. I wonder what she's doing these days. Gia Chiambati. I don't know if she's still making music, but... The Robo Al, that's a great movie. Great movie. And then I think the final couple things here, well, we got... there's a video, but I don't think we have time to show that. Maybe if I need to take a break later, we'll show the video. All right. But we have these 2 cassettes I bought at the thrift store. January 16th, 2017. 5 years ago today, I got Men at Work Cargo on cassette, which, interestingly, I got out of the library on the exact same day, January 16th, 1985, that I bought the cassette at the thrift store. And Devo New Traditionalist, what a great find at the thrift store. This cost me like 15 cents for this Devo New Traditionalist tape. I couldn't believe my luck that day. That's a great find. Yep, 5 years ago.